Well, hello and welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me. So today we're just going to take a quick look at the ITT Polo. You may have recognised this from the video I made recently where I was having a bit of a whinge and a moan because I don't know if you can see this, but the box arrived in a fairly horrible condition, considering it was supposed to have been sort of almost new or unused in box. And the box had just been delivered with some brown paper around it, so it didn't protect the actual original box at all, which was a shame. Now it does have, or it did come with, a figure of 8 power lead, which I believe to be the original one. The plug was removed. It's got the old Curry's plug on there. It was removed prior to sale just so that it would be able to fit back inside the box. So what I wanted to do today was just give it a clean, really. I think from memory, when I fired it up, it was okay. So we're just going to try it again and check. And then if it needs any work, we can do that. But basically, it's just got some grime in the speakers there. And it's just a bit dusty and grimy and just needs a good polish. This is only really going to be for display. So there's no point kind of stripping it entirely down. But you might be able to see, for example, that the aerial is pretty, it's got surface corrosion and there's just general dirt and grime in there. So we're just going to see if it works first. So first up, where are we? We'll get the volume down. We'll put the radio on, which it is, and I'll just check we've got power. So we should have power. So, yep, that was the problem from before, I think. Yeah, the switch is a bit dirty. I remember now that the actual switch is dirty, and what happens is it's not. Yeah, it's working to a degree. Yeah, it's working to a degree, but it's quite dirty, so the switch needs a clean anyway. So that's that. Right, as for the tape then. I'll just drop a tape in now, little Christmas tape, and play. That works. Yep. Okay, so we're okay with the tape mechanism. We just need to clean the switches, I think, so that the actual functions work properly, because we've got radio and off, and I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, I'm rambling on now, so what we're just going to do is unplug everything and just break the back off and have a look. Apologies for the poor overhead lighting at the moment, but the best we can do right this moment. So to get this Polo apart, we've got 4 screws on the back. Incidentally, I don't know if I showed you this originally, but the inside of the battery compartment is super clean. I don't even know if it's ever had batteries in it, to be honest. The original sponge is perfectly intact, so it may well have just always been operated from the mains, so there's no leakage of any battery fluids or acid or anything in there, so that's great. So anyways, let's get these screws out. Okay, I'm hoping that's all of them. This one's not pulling out, so it may actually be threaded through the entire back cover. Yes, it is. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 1 for luck. The screws don't feel like they've ever been out. No reason to suspect they would be, to be honest. I'll just check in the battery compartment. Sometimes there are screws hidden away in there. I'll take that off anyways. Right. So hopefully now we should be able to lift this clear now. There's no, sometimes the knobs on the side and stuff sort of attach the back panel on. I've got no reason to suspect they should. we'll just take that off in case. Yeah, now that's captive in there now, so that's not holding the actual back on. So we'll just very gingerly go through and make sure we haven't missed anything obvious. Right, there we go. That feels sensible. Just starting to come away there now. Of course, this will be the original seal on here anyways. So we're almost there. We've just got to be careful. And always remember with old stereos and stuff, the plastic is of course rather old, rather fragile. And we've just got to be careful we don't snap anything. So there may be a clip or something just there. There she goes. Right, okay, so the back is now free and it'll just be connected by the antenna, I would imagine. Right, okay, so here she is. And I'll just disconnect that there, and you can see how clean that is inside actually. Quite often when we open these old units, they'll be dusty and filthy, and often people have had the backs off and over cranked the screw holes, and these posts might have come off and be rattling around in parts inside the unit. That's not the case with this, so that's great. I'll put that to one side. And okay, so doesn't look too bad. It looks nice and clean generally inside there. Nothing much to report, to be honest. Yeah, everything looks glued down, looks fine. So yeah, there isn't really much to report. That's probably, I think that's more glue than anything else, that discoloration. I'm just holding these ribbons in place. So yeah, so we can get to the arrays, switches and other things in here. So yeah, nice and simple actually, there's not much to it. The fuse looks in good condition. So I think what we'll do now is probably just get the controls off, see if we can clean the pots in situ, because there doesn't really seem much point in taking the whole board out, quite frankly, just to give it a clean. It looks very clean inside there, so I'm hopeful that we can just get we can hopefully get to the pots themselves just about without having to get the whole circuit board out. Right then, let's just get on with that. It's amazing to think that this is the first time this has been ever been apart. Now, I'm just looking. There's the tape, the cassette belt. No, it doesn't feel too bad actually. But as I say, I'm not looking to really use this particular one. So yeah, I reckon you may even be able to. No, you still have to get the plastic off to change the belt actually. I was just having a look at it. I'm not planning on doing the belt on this today, to be fair, because we don't really need to. I'm not going to be using it, as I say. There's a screw just there. There's another one on the board there, there and there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would imagine that is literally like half a dozen screws, and I'm sure the whole shebang will just come out of there. So anyway, as I say, we don't need to do that. We're just gonna get the control knobs off and give her a clean. So 1, 2, 3, like so. That was easy. And yeah, that just allows us to get inside the actual sort of crevices of the controls, as it were. To clean the pots themselves, you'll be lucky to get any cleaning fluid down through the shaft there. Much better actually to try and see if we can sneak some in. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but you're better off trying to sneak some in down through the pots themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and get some contact cleaner in there now and just work it through the switches. So I've just worked a little bit of contact cleaner just inside the shaft. As I said just now, it's not necessarily the best way, but given that these weren't really crackling anyway, just letting a little bit of the cleaner running down through there will actually help a little bit. So certainly doesn't do any harm. So with this one, this was the selector switch that was giving us a tiny bit of grief. So we'll just work a little bit into there. And yeah, where are we at? The good news is I think we can actually see the back of the switch as well. So we're just getting some in there. And to be honest, anytime you can actually see a switch, you might as well take the opportunity just to make sure that she's free and clean. Good. So there we go. And to be honest, all she needs now is a bit of a vinyl clean, I think, and we'll get her back together. One final thing before we do get the vinyl cleaner on, I don't know if you'll be able to see any general sort of muck inside the speaker grill there. So what we'll do is we'll vacuum that out first. No point trying to polish dirt into it. In an ideal world, of course, we would actually take the entire board out. That would give us access to the front grille, and we could literally wash that with soap and water, but that's a little bit overkill for today. So as I say, let's just vacuum this out and then get some vinyl cleaner on there. So I've just quickly taken a toothbrush and some vinyl cleaner, some soapy water, and yeah, there we go. It's all those nooks and crannies and those the ridges around the edge that the dirt and the grime gets in. So that's much better, and she'll be good as new. Not too grimy, not too bad, but better to, always better to do this than to not. And we'll get the Q-tips or cotton buds, whatever you want to call them, into all the nooks and crannies as well. And we'll just keep on doing this. Let the plastic take up some of the cleaner. And then we'll buff it up. Of course, it's always worth getting the control knobs off, because you can genuinely then get into the areas that you just cannot otherwise. It just means that you can look at it from different angles and it will still look beautifully clean. So anyway, I'll crack on with this, give it a wipe over, and I'll be back with some pictures when she's finished. Rightio then. So she's screwed back together. I've just polished the aerial with a little bit of aluminium foil. You may be able to see that. Just giving a bit of a clean, or a lot of a clean, as you can imagine. What I'll do now though is buff it up properly, and then tomorrow morning when we've got some daylight, I'll take some nice pictures and I'll check in with you then.